Hello and welcome everyone to this video in which we'll be solving one set from CAT 2024 LRDI Slot 2. Now this set kind of is like a Sudoku school of thinking kind of a set. And although the set is easy, okay, I'm not contesting the fact that the set is actually pretty doable. But despite that, in my opinion, this would have been a wrong selection in this paper because the paper was actually very easy. The remaining sets were much more doable, much more quickly solvable as compared to the set because the set will rely a lot on trial and error. And you will also have to check multiple different possibilities before you can be absolutely sure as to what is the correct answer for this particular set, correct solution for this particular set. So let's understand the set first. The set says that there are numbers from 1 to 10 which needs to be filled into this grid. And we have been given some rules to fill the grid in. The rules are that the numbers in every row has to be appearing in ascending order, which means that the lowest number should be on the leftmost side of the row and increasing as we move along to the right side of the row. Numbers should be in descending order in the columns from top to bottom. Top number will be greatest, bottom number will be lowest. And then we have been told that one is placed in the first row or the same row or same column as the number 10. We have been told that neither 2 nor 3 can be placed in the same row or same column as 10. 7 nor 8 can be placed in the same row or same column as 9. And 4 and 6 have to be placed in the same row. These clues are given. We'll start off by first understanding the fact that 10 is the largest number. So if 10 is the largest number, it has to be the largest number in a row, which means in a row, it has to be the right-hand side most number. And in a column, it has to be the topmost number, right? Because it's the largest number, and in a column, all the numbers are in descending order. So topmost number in a column, rightmost number in a row, which means only position that 10 can take will be here. 10 can only be present in that particular cell. Now we have been told that 1 has to be placed in the same row or same column as 10, even if that clue was not given. I know that 1 is the smallest number. So it has to be either in the leftmost or not either. It has to be the leftmost number in a row and the bottommost number in a column. Only possible way of this happening is that if 1 is either here or here. Right. So 3 is actually not even required because if 1 is the smallest number, no other number can be smaller than 1. So nothing can be to the left of 1, nothing can be below 1. So that is only possible in row 1, column 1 or row 4, column 4. Because any other place, I will have to find numbers which are lesser than 1 to put into the remaining cells, which is not possible. So this also we know. And next, because 9, the number 9 does not have any kind of a constraint, and 9 is the second largest number. So the only number greater than 9 is 10. So only number that can be to the right of 9 can be 10. Only number that can be on top of 9 can be 10. And that is only possible when 9 is here or here. These things we can understand immediately as soon as we start solving the set. So the only possible positions of the number 1 is row 1, column 1 or row 4, column 4. Only possible positions of the number 9 are row 1, column 3 and row 2, column 4. And 10 is always going to be row 1, column 4. What we are going to do is we are going to make 4 cases based on the position of 1 and 9. So either both 1 and 9 will be in row 1, or 1 will be in row 1 and 9 will be in column 4, or 9 will be in row 1 and 1 will be in column 4, or both 9 and 1 will be in column 4. So one by one, we will take these 4 possibilities and try to populate the remaining numbers to check if any of these possibilities or multiple possibilities gives me a solution that satisfied all the 6 clues given for this particular set. So let me first take the case of 1 and 9 both in row 1. Now see, 1 and 9 both are in row 1. Then looking at clue number 5, clue number 5 says neither 7 nor 8 can be in the same row or same column as 9, which means 7 or 8 cannot be here, 7 or 8 cannot be here or here. Only the remaining possible grid points, grid cells are there for 7 or 8 to occupy. Now actually, if I put 7 or 8 here, that also will not be possible. Why? Because the number above 7 or 8 have to be greater than 7 or 8. So if I put 8 here, there is no number greater than 8 because 9 and 10 are already fixed. And if I put 7 here, then I will have to put 8 here on the top cell. But that violates the condition that 8 and 7 cannot be in the same row as 9. So even this cell is not available for 7 or 8 to take up. So 7 or 8 can only be in column 4. And in column 4, because 7 and 8 are very large numbers, and there is no other number left which is greater than 7 or 8. So the only possible places for 7 and 8 will be here and here. Because then the last number in column 4, the bottommost number in column 4 will be less than 8 and 7. So that also let me fix. Now coming to clue number 6. Clue number 6 says 4 and 6 have to be in the same row. There is only one row now where two cells are available for 4 and 6 to occupy. So 4 and 6 can be here and here. So let me fix that. But once I fix 4 and 6 there, now looking at clue number 4, it says neither 2 nor 3 can be placed in the same row or same column as 10, which means that 2 or 3 cannot be here, 2 or 3 cannot be here. So only possible cell available for 2 and 3 is this. Now I cannot put both 2 and 3 here. That's why this particular arrangement or this particular condition case will not satisfy the clues given in the solution. So I have to reject this case. Let's look at the next case where I'm going to take 1 in row 1 and 9 in column 4. Once I fixed 1 and 9, again, let me look at the possibilities of 7 or 8. 7 or 8 cannot be here. 7 or 8 cannot be here. Now 7 and 8 have to be placed in the remaining, in 2 of the remaining 3 cells. Now of these 3 cells, I cannot place 7 or 8 in row 3 because if I place 7 or 8 here, then the number in column 4 row 3 has to be greater than 7 or 8, which is not possible because 8 cannot fit there and there is no number greater than 8 either. So 7 or 8 cannot be here. So the only possible locations for 7 and 8 are here. Once I fix 7 and 8 there, now let me again look at clue number 6. Clue number 6 says 4 and 6 have to be in the same row. So 4 and 6 can either be in these 2 cells or in these 2 cells. Now among these, if I put 4 and 6 here, that will not be possible. Why? Because once I put 4 and 6 here, then for 2 and 3, only the remaining 3 cells are available. And of these remaining 2 cells are in the same column as row 10. So these 2 cells, 2 and 3 cannot occupy. And 2 and 3 cannot sit in the same cell. So 4 and 6 cannot be here. I will have to have more cells available for 2 or 3 to occupy. So only possible position of 4 and 6 is here. Once I put 4 and 6 there, now 2 and 3 have to be in row 2 because they cannot be in the same column as 10. So 2 and 3 have to be in row 2 and they have to be in ascending order in a row. So 2 here, 3 here. But when I put 2 here, 3 here, that's a problem. Problem is that column 3 now is not in descending order. 4 is greater than 3. So 4 cannot be below 3. So that is why column 3 is not satisfying the condition given in the question. So there is no possible position of the numbers in this grid where I'm taking 1 in row 1 and 9 in column 4. So let me take the next possibility. Next possibility is both 1 and 9 in column 4. When I take both 1 and 9 in column 4, then what can happen? So now let's look at 7 or 8. 7 or 8 cannot be here, cannot be here, cannot be here. Again, 7 or 8 cannot be in row 3, column 3, because as I said, there is no number greater than 7 or 8 that can take row 3, column 4 position. So which means 7 and 8 have to be here and here. So once 7 and 8 are here and here. Now let's look at 4, 6 again. Now 4, 6 have to be in the same row. So they can either be in these 2 cells or in these 2 cells. Now of these 2, if I put 4 and 6 here, then there are 2 cells available for 2 and 3 to take. So I can put 4 and 6 here. But if I put 4 and 6 in row 2, then of the remaining 3 cells, row 1, column 1 and row 3, column 4 are not available for 2 and 3 to occupy. So then there is only one cell available for both 2 and 3 to occupy. That is not possible. So I will put 4 and 6 here. So once I put 4 and 6 here, then 2 and 3 have to be in row 2 because they cannot be in the same row as column 10. And 5 will be left over in column 1. Right? So this seems like a possible solution. But is this a possible solution? No, it's not. Because again, column 3 has 8, 3, 4. And 8, 3, 4 is not in descending order. So 9 and 1 cannot be in the same column either. So which means we are left with only one single possibility for 9 and 1 to be in. And that possibility is when I put 9 in column 3 or in row 1 and 1 in row 4. This has to work out now. This possibility has to work out. So let's see if it can work out or not. Again, what we'll do is we will look at 7 or 8. 7 or 8 cannot be here, cannot be here. Among the remaining cells, 7 or 8 cannot be here either because again, there is no number greater than 7 or 8 to occupy row 1, column 2. So 8, 7. Pardon my handwriting. 8, 7 have to be here. Assume that is 8. Okay, it's looking very ugly, I know, but assume that that is 8. So this is now fixed. Now 4 and 6 have to be in the same row. If I put 4 and 6 in these 2 cells, put 4 here, 6 here, then again, problem for 2 or 3. Because in row 1, 2 or 3 cannot appear, so only one cell is available for 2 or 3 to occupy, and that is then not going to be possible for me to place 2 and 3. So 4 and 6 cannot be here. So only possible positions for 4 and 6 are here and here. So now 2 and 3 can occupy any of these three sets. But we have to remember that along with 2 and 3, one more number which is left is 5. And 5 is greater than both 2 and 3. So 5 is greater than both 2 and 3, then it has to be to the right of 2 and 3 and above 2 and 3. So only possible location for 5 is here. So if I put 5 here now, then 2 or 3 can be here, and whatever number is left can be here. In this case, all the conditions are being satisfied. Every single row has numbers in ascending order. Every single column has got numbers in descending order. 4 and 6 are in the same row. 10 and 1 are in the same column. 9 is in a different column. 8 and 7 is in a different row and different column as compared to 9. 2 and 3 are not in the same row and column as 10. So all the conditions are satisfied. So this is the only possible solution, only possibility which can solve this particular set satisfying all the clues. Once we arrive at this particular possibility, now the questions are going to be cakewalk. But reaching till this place can be a time-taking process if we don't consider this correct possibility initially. And the problem with this kind of a set is that every time you're writing down a different possibility, you have to draw the grid again in your rough work. That is why this set might take a long time for someone who does not initially consider the correct possibility. Also, even if you consider the correct possibility first, you still have to check the remaining possibilities because it's very possible that some other location of 9 and 1 can also give you a possible solution to the set. So anyway, you have to make all these possibilities, you have to make cases, you have to draw the grid again and again. And when we do this, not only is it going to be time taking, but also we might get confused, not remember what all possibilities we have considered and what all possibilities we are still supposed to consider. So for all these reasons, I would put this as the last set in LRDI slot 2 of CAT 24 paper to be picked up. The remaining sets are definitely shorter and easier than this to solve. Now let's look at the questions. First question is asking, what is the row number which has least sum of numbers in that row? Very simple. Of all the rows, row 4 has got only 1. So answer will be row 4. Simple. So 4 you have to type in. Next question is asking which of the following statements is true? Must be true. 10 is placed in a slot in row 1. That is absolutely true. 1 is placed in a slot in row 4. That is also absolutely true. So both 1 and 2 must be true. So A is the answer for question number 2. Question number 3 states which of the following statements must be true again. 2 is placed in a slot in column 2. Maybe it can be in column 2, but not must be true. So that's why 1 need not be true. 3 is placed in a slot in column 3. Again, may be true. It can be placed in column 3, but it can also be placed in column 2. That's why 2 is also may be true. Neither of these must be true. That's why answer will be option B, neither 1 nor 2. Question number 4 says for how many grid or slots in the grid, placement of numbers cannot be determined with certainty. That is only in row 2, column 2 and row 3, column 3. These are not unique solutions, unique possibilities. Every other slot can be determined uniquely. So the answer to this will be 2. For 2 slots, you cannot with certainty determine which number is going to appear. So that you have to type in the answer for question number 4 as 2. And 5 says what is the sum of all the numbers placed in column 4? Column 4, add them up. 10 plus 8, 18 plus 7, 25 plus 1, 26. 26 will be the answer to question 5. These are the answers to the 5 questions of this particular set. Once you make the correct possibility, solving the questions are really easy. But reaching the correct solution might take up to 8, 9, even 10 minutes. And the remaining questions or remaining sets in this slot are all sub 10-minute sets. So thing to learn from CAT 24 slot 2 LRDI is how to select sets. So read the sets very carefully before you start solving a set, understand how many possibilities might have to be considered. And then if you make selection of sets prudently, it is very possible to solve 3 sets even. Even for someone who is moderately good at LRDI, they can solve 3 sets in this particular paper. But if you pick up a set like this one first, then you might not have sufficient time to attempt the third set. 2 sets, I think, are always possible in this particular papers, in CAT 24 paper slot 2 LRDI. Thank you.